Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're cracking open one of the world's most profound spiritual texts, the Bhagavad Gita, to see what its ancient wisdom has to say about our most difficult modern problems.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been there? You're at a crossroads. The stakes are high, the options are all kind of terrible, and you just freeze. You do absolutely nothing. It's this total paralysis that comes from facing an impossible choice. We've all felt it.
Well, it turns out this is not a new problem, not by a long shot. The Bhagavad Gita, written thousands of years ago, kicks off right at this very point of crisis. It's not some dusty, abstract scripture. It's more like a user's manual for navigating our own internal battlefields. And it starts at the exact moment we feel the most stuck.
So where does our story begin? Well, it's on a literal battlefield. We meet this legendary warrior Arjuna, who's about to face the ultimate test. And it's not just a test of his skill with the bow and arrow, but a test of his very soul. The armies are lined up, the horns are about to sound, but then Arjuna looks across the field, and who does he see? He sees his own family, his cousins, his beloved teachers, his respected elders, all lined up in the enemy ranks. The thought of fighting them, of killing them, is so horrifying that he literally just drops his bow and says, "I will not fight." He's done, completely shut down.
And this right here is the heart of his impossible choice. On one side, you've got his sacred duty, his dharma. As a warrior, he's supposed to protect righteousness and confront evil. But on the other side, you've got his deep personal attachments, his love for the very people he's supposed to be fighting. It is a gut-wrenching conflict between what he must do and what his heart absolutely cannot bear to do.
So Arjuna is just broken. He turns to his charioteer and guide, who happens to be the divine Krishna, and he's basically expecting a shoulder to cry on, right? Some sympathy. But what he gets is something else entirely, something sharp, surprising, and almost harsh.
Yeah, instead of comfort, Krishna hits him with this incredible rebuke. He calls Arjuna's paralysis a weakness of heart and tells him to get up and fight. He doesn't coddle Arjuna's pain at all. He challenges the very foundation of it, forcing him to look at this crisis in a totally new way.
So what's going on here? Well, this is the crucial point. Krishna isn't just pushing for violence. He's making a really profound psychological diagnosis. He's saying, Arjuna, what you're feeling right now, that's not real compassion. That's self-pity. It's your fear of your own grief and your own loss, and it's masquerading as some kind of noble moral high ground. True compassion, Krishna argues, sometimes requires the strength to take decisive, difficult action.
And Krishna's challenge gets to the very root of the problem. It's not just Arjuna's problem either. It's a crisis that affects every single one of us, that massive gaping chasm between knowing what we should do and actually, doing it.
See, at the time the Gita was written, the spiritual world had basically fractured into two opposing camps. You had the thinkers, the philosophers, who gained incredible wisdom, but they believed that to keep it, you had to withdraw from the world, to not get your hands dirty. And then you had the doers, who were out in the world performing duties and rituals, but often without any deep guiding purpose.
So this created another impossible choice. You could follow the path of knowledge, called Sankhya, which gave you amazing insight but basically led you to become a hermit, or you could follow the path of action, called yoga, which had often just become a set of mechanical rituals aimed at getting stuff for yourself. The result? As the Gita puts it so brilliantly, wisdom without action is lame, and action without knowledge is blind. People were completely stuck.
Krishna's answer to this dilemma is just revolutionary. He doesn't pick a side. He creates a third way, a synthesis that bridges that massive gap between knowing and doing. He calls it Buddhi Yoga, the yoga of intelligent will. Now, Buddhi is such a cool concept. It's not just intellect or book smarts. It's our highest faculty. It's our ability to see things clearly, to discern what's right, and it's our determination, our will, to act on that understanding. So Buddhi Yoga isn't about just thinking the right thoughts. It's about welding our intelligence and our will together so that our actions become this perfect, seamless expression of our deepest wisdom.
So how does this actually work in real life? Well, it starts with step 1. Find your purpose. Find the work that is your natural calling and serve something bigger than just you. From there, step 2 is learning to consistently choose what's right over what's just pleasant or easy. Step 3 is about training your mind to be the driver, not the passenger, guiding your senses instead of just reacting to every little impulse. And finally, and this is maybe the biggest game changer of all, step 4, You shift your entire life's orientation from what's in it for me to how can I contribute?
But this whole teaching, it goes even deeper. It pushes us beyond just a simple code of ethics. It drives us toward a single, profound question about what is at the absolute center of our lives.
When you get right down to it, the practice of Buddha Yoga is about finding that one thing, that one single core principle that you would be willing to live for and even die for. It's about identifying the value that is so central to your being that it becomes your North Star, your unwavering compass in every single decision you ever make.
You know, history gives us these powerful, humbling examples of people who lived this. Think of Janusz Korczak. He was a doctor and educator who ran an orphanage for Jewish children in Poland during World War II. When the Nazis came to liquidate the ghetto, he was offered a chance to escape, but he refused. His ultimate guiding value was the safety and dignity of those children, and so he stayed with them, walking hand in hand with them all the way to the gas chambers. He chose to uphold his deepest principle, no matter the cost.
And so, the Gita's ancient wisdom circles all the way back around and it lands right here, with us. It leaves us with this intensely personal, profoundly modern challenge. When everything else is stripped away, when you face your own battlefield, your own impossible choice, what is the one value you would be willing to die for? Because that, the Gita tells us, is where true clarity and true strength really begins.